had people ask me in the past, where do I get my news from? What's my process, for example? Well, if you think about it this way, in 2021, it's nearly impossible to get unbiased news anywhere anymore. And I do believe that there's no reason to not be informed about anything. You can learn the basics of anything, a skill, news, anything, just by jumping on your phone and doing a quick Google search. I try to start most days informed with what's going on in the world. The problem is, most journalism today is like propaganda. You can't just get the news anymore. It's news with someone's opinion. It's like almost every piece of news is op-ed. So I'm someone that I'm not looking for propaganda. I don't choose a side. Like I'm looking right or wrong is where I kind of fall. Using, reason and logic, right? Trying to be rational. I'm not into this my party, your party BS at the end of the day. As I always say, I don't treat politics like sports teams, for example. Politicians work for us and they need to get shit done. My own opinion. So the only way for me to really achieve that is I have to hit CNN, and then I have to go to Fox News, and then I hit Bloomberg, and I can get some business and other snippets of things that are mixed in. CNBC, I'll check out Wall Street Journal. Obviously, I'm a little bit business heavy. I'm in the business world, so I want to know what's going on. Um, I always feel like CNN's got a lot more reporting going on. It's if you just look through their homepage, it seems like they got more news. Now, like the same issue with Fox and everyone else, there's always some slant that comes with that. So, it's buying submarine deal. We're back on the, you know, FDA and whether or not we need boosters. Tomorrow's right wing rally. It's CNN. That's their side. You're gonna go to Fox News and let's look at Fox News really quick. You know, let's see. Believe it or not, there's not some anti-Biden stuff on the landing page of Fox today. So I'm sure if I scroll down there is. But the lead story for Fox right now seems to be this. I'm guessing this was a murder or something that happened. I just like of all the. I'm not saying it's not an important story. It's just I feel a lot of times Fox has this type of stuff, or they'll do the anti whoever the Democrat in office is. So I go through here. I try to figure out what the real news is, and try not to get the propaganda and try not to get that opinion. I wish we just had real reporting, but we don't. So I stop here because I feel like there's usually more news going on here, and obviously everything's taken with a grain of salt. This is always cool. It's the trending part up here, obviously the COVID stuff and that murder. Nicki Minaj has been popping up quite a bit. I go through Fox. What's funny is it's anything when whatever president's in each channel will spend the first year mentioning Trump. For the first 6 months on CNN, all you saw was Trump, 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 and he's not even in office anymore. And Fox News did the same thing with Obama. It's like that shit's in the past. I don't care anymore. I need to know what's going on. I need to know how we fix things. I need to know what's broken, what needs what's going on. I don't need to listen to what happened the last 4 or 8 years because it gets you more clicks. So I'll go through there. I'll flip over to Bloomberg. A lot of times, you get a little bit of politics mixed in with the business world, which is interesting. There's a lot of other, like Bloomberg Business Week. There's a lot of other places to get information. So we're looking for expanded unemployment. I'm heavily into the business world right now. I'm invested in the restaurant and the hospitality industry as a whole. We don't need expanded unemployment aid right now. We need to get people back to work. It's hurting businesses. Like there's two more places just closed up by me, and I know one of them straight up said they could not get help, so they had to shut down. Um, yeah, there's too many jobs out there right now. Hey, we got to get help to people that need help. I've always said that. As someone that struggled as when I was a kid, get help to the people that need help. But there's so many goddamn jobs out there right now, and businesses are struggling. Get people back to work. What else we got here? Biden trims up pressure on Democrats and spending bill. Trump era council indicts. We're tied to. Are we still talking about Hillary Clinton? Man, things that you thought were just dead and gone and we moved on from, they were still talking about Clinton. What do we got going on at CNBC? Stock futures fall slightly as investors brace for more volatility this. I mean, come on, we got a triple witching coming up here. Is that today? It might be today. I don't know. Um, every asset class seems overinflated. It seems like we're in a bubble. If we're not in a bubble, then this is just a new normal. Who the hell knows? Obviously, we pumped a tremendous amount of money into the system, and if we didn't pump that money into the system, where would we be at the same level? I don't think so. I think if you took away all the trillions we put into the system, the stock market's not where it's at, housing's not where it's at, food's not up 10, 20, 30%. If you just take that money out, we're not there. And you think about that, it's you're going to regress back to that mean, and you can see why people are getting a little bit concerned there. Ooh, Sears is shutting down its last store in Illinois. I grew up on Sears. We were just south of Detroit there. My dad worked in a steel factory. We shopped at Sears. That's where he got his work clothes. It's where you bought appliances. It's where you bought tools. Just not the place you go to anymore, unfortunately. Oh, Biden's plan, COVID risk. FDA needs to do booster shots. Who knows if we need a booster shot at this point or not? We don't know. That's all we know is that the story keeps changing, and I think it just keeps changing because we just don't know what to watch. The Dow futures drop as history signals rough rest. I mean, yeah, rough rest of September possible. If we talk about a new stimulus plan, that shit will change. But the plug has been pulled. Now we're gonna see what happens. People got to go. Evictions are starting. Unemployment's coming to an end. The big unemployment's coming to an end, anyways. It's time to get back to real life, and assuming the government doesn't stick their mitts back in the mess here, yeah, I gotta imagine that we're in for a rough time here at some point. Student debt can make buying a home feel impossible. Here are your options. Again, and a lot of arguments over the years. It's there's a lot of jobs out there that you can make money at that will help you pay down your school loans. That'll help you pay down your school debt. People just don't want to do them. I've told people to go into sales, they can make, quite a bit of good money, and they're like, oh, that's a terrible job, I don't want to do that. It's like, man, this is what happens when we spend, 20 years telling our kids that they got to go do what they love, and then they go get a degree that nobody wants, or that the market never asked for, and then they're sitting on $100,000 in school loan debts, and then say, hey, go do this or go do that, and they don't want to do that. Well, you're going to be paying your school loans off for 30 years. There's things in society we have to change. There's jobs we need done. We need more nurses. We need welders. There's a whole lot of things we need that pay good money that people don't want to do, or they think they're too good to do. And that always bugs me. It's like, so when something on your car breaks and you need a welder, you want someone there to weld for you, but you think that job's too good for you. Or when you're in the hospital, you want that nurse there to take care of you, but you don't want to be a nurse. It's a very interesting way that we have developed our society and telling our kids on, what are the good jobs. The good jobs today is being a social media manager and playing on the internet all day. And then we'll look down upon the nurse and the welder. And I have to say, who contributes more to society? The person posting photos on Instagram or the nurse in the hospital that's battling COVID right now? I know who my hero is. So, interesting little news there. Well, we got a Wall Street Journal. I'm gonna sign into this thing. How Facebook hobbled Mark Zuckerberg's bid to get America vaccinated. Man, I'm gonna do another episode on this, but my thought, I've been saying this quite a bit. Where's big tech? This big brain trust that we look up to that got the massive stock valuations that are worth. Everyone's a billionaire. Snapchat dude's a billionaire. Zuckerberg's a billionaire. Fucking trillionaires soon, right? Bezos, all these people. Like I ordered something that I didn't even need delivered, and like today, and they can get. I can order at 10 a.m. and Amazon will deliver by like 4 p.m. You can do that, but big tech didn't really come and solve any of our issues with COVID. It's not a kind of a wake up call that big tech is really great at creating things that society doesn't need, and we got these like tech gods, the tech stars, and these people we look up to, and we hold up to this like high level of. We all look up to them, right? And the tech gods, but they didn't come save our ass last year, did they? Like, what I want to know is, like, I'm looking for, I want a little device that I can plug into my phone, like the Square card reader, that you can blow into it and it's an instant COVID test. Where the hell's that at? Imagine if every mobile phone had that. You could wake up in the morning, blow into this thing, and find out if you had COVID or not. We could end COVID right now. Not end it, but we could beat it down to some, half of 1% and just keep reducing it, stop spreading it. Where's tech with that one? There's like things that we could do. Where's the engineers? All these people, create air purifiers that can turn the air over, in a classroom 10 times and, eliminate the risk of a virus spreading in a classroom or a bar. And I know we're starting to see some of that stuff. The air scrubbers I've seen, we've had UV filter stuff. Like, there's all this stuff we had, but what about something better? They can get down to the zero point 0.1 microns or whatever. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about there. Where's all this stuff? Why didn't we put like a concentrated effort into finding things that if you wore a mask and you socially distance and we had some air purifiers and maybe there's some formula. Where's the engineers at? This is what I do for a living, but if you pumped in X amount of fresh air and then you had, air purifiers, could we eliminate the spread in like bars and restaurants and classrooms? Could you send the kids back to school and not worry about it? Imagine if you could send your kids to school and the room had air purifiers and everyone took a COVID test every day off a mobile device. They could just say, COVID negative, COVID positive. It's 18 months now. We got all this like big brain power. Where's the big brain trust in the tech world and all our engineers? Is there not some economic incentive to do that? Has anyone thought about that? I gotta imagine I'm not the first one to come up with this shit. So, it's like, every time something bad happens, it's like, well, big tech will do a dashboard. On Google, I can go like find out today's COVID numbers and track it for the last year. I mean, that's cool. Sounds like something I could have done on my Windows 95 PC like 20 fucking years ago. Where was, big tech didn't come save us, did they? But man, do we hold them up above our head like a Stanley Cup trophy. What else we got here? Heard on the street, Facebook investors are the biggest headaches. Lockdowns in Asia deepen commodity supply chain. Have you not realized we're screwed? Like, I talked to Kane on the other show we do about how fast things fell apart. Like, people were fighting each other for toilet paper last year. Think about that. We're fighting over toilet paper. Man. It also tells you how crazy as a society we are. It's like, even if you ran out of toilet paper, we would get by. You could jump in the shower and rinse off. You could go rub your ass on the grass outside like a dog if you had to. You could have figured out something. Now we're fighting at Costco to get that last roll of cotton now. Craziness. But this is an issue we're not looking at right now. I just posted a thing about possibly ordering a new truck, and they're talking about you can't even get a truck on the lot. They're saying if you want to wait for one, you might get one in like 4 months to get a diesel truck right now. I mean, what if I order one? They're like 10 weeks for an F-150 or, maybe 4 months if you get a diesel F-250. And that's assuming everything goes well. Like, I'm talking to a parent, they couldn't buy like Capri Sun fruit punch for the last 3 months. The places are getting more and more sold out of different grocery items. You can't get certain electronics. I was trying to buy a part from my boat that's a very common part, but it comes from China, and the ports are backed up, and it's like 7 weeks to get something that I should be able to get at Walgreens just about. It's so common. You see more and more pressure on our supply chain now. We are so dependent upon everybody else. I don't think anyone gets that. Everyone's worried about we're going to go to war with China tomorrow. No, we're not. We're so in bed with each other that's probably just not going to happen. Now, people do crazy things. Never know what will happen, but the world is so intertwined. And, this country's got these minerals, this country's got oil, they got this expertise, they make the semiconductors. Now we're all kind of just, we're woven together now. And we got to figure out how to make it work. The issue is anytime something bad happens, like this, now we're getting crushed. We can't get the semiconductors. There was a fire at a plant, I think. There's a slowdown in Asia right now, and then more lockdowns, and it's not just the labor to do the chips. I think there's issues getting the raw materials to do the chips, and we just can't go produce them here. So, the president just can't like snap his fingers and say, "Hey, go make an extra 1.2 million semiconductors in the United States every day. Let's go." And it doesn't work that way. We don't have the complex assembly lines that do that. All the robotics, those lines are very complicated, and then the materials. So, as this virus pressure continues, the supply chain we're going to continue to have problems. It's tough, man. It makes you wonder, does it go out somewhere and just buy some land and grow some corn and wheat and shit and just try to survive? Give me some high-speed internet access out there, and man, I'll probably have to figure out how to make it work for me. What else we got? Not a whole lot. Now that I just did this, I might just do this once in a while. I'm going to pop up 4 or 5 news channels and just read the top, like before the full type of stuff, and just tell you what's going on in the world. I actually kind of enjoy this. Again, I tried to get little things. I need to hear what the left's saying. I need to hear what the right's saying. I need to see what's going on in the business world. I need all of it. I need to know, and I need to form my opinion for myself. I need to see through the propaganda and the bullshit and figure out what's real, what's not real, and make my decision from there. I just can't dig in on one side. I always believe there's always 2 sides of every story, and anytime you start believing just one side, you start making a lot of mistakes. It's like, you make assumptions. Make an ass out of you. Make an ass out of me. Like, man, get the whole goddamn story, not the one that you want to believe. That's the issue. Is everyone I know that wakes up in the morning and watches Fox News, and they wake up and they only watch CNN, they won't go look at either one. Where we live in a world where we only go to the sources that tell us the things we want to hear, and we certainly don't go to the sources that tell us the things we don't want to hear. How do we get better as a society that way? We don't. This is where we're at right now. This is the world we live in. It's anyone that's trying to solve their issue with anything. It's if I'm dieting, for example, what would I do? And I want to eat pizza. I go Google, is it okay to eat pizza while dieting? And then you go look for that article that says it's okay to eat pizza while you're trying to lose weight. And that's the one that we go read and we believe. And now we got our validation, and we go eat the fucking pizza. And then we wake up tomorrow and we weigh ourselves and we're up a half a pound, and we're like, oh, because we don't search on why you shouldn't eat pizza when you're dieting. We go search for the thing that we want. We try to find, if you search, you can find anyone. You'll find someone out there that'll eventually agree with you. And that's the terrible part of technology and the internet. It's the first 10 results could tell you exactly what you don't want to hear, and then the 11th result will tell you what you want to hear, and then you're like, okay, that's it, that's right, I'm okay. And that's CNN, and that's Fox, right? It's the people that wake up and go to CNN because they want to. That's the side they're on, and that's what they want to be told, and they'll never go to Fox News. And the same people go to Fox News. They don't want to go to CNN. They don't want to hear what that side's saying. It's unfortunate. That is not me, though. This is kind of how I wake up sometimes 4, 5 in the morning. I open my phone up. I blaze through 4, 5, 6 different sites. A little more international stuff. Kind of want to see what's going on in other markets, over stock markets overnight and whatnot. And by 7 or 8 a.m., I want to know what's going on in the world and how it's going to affect my day, how it might affect any investments, how it might affect the conversations I'm going to have. I don't follow a lot of sports, but if there's something major on sports that happened, I try to check that out, because I might be talking to somebody and they want to talk sports, and I at least want to act like I'm not completely tuned out of what's going on. But that's all I got for this one. if you want me to cover a particular topic or a news story, send me a link on my Instagram. You can DM me. I'm at JamesPhillip313, and I'll try to get you featured on the show. Until then, I'm going to catch you on the next one.